These are the kings and queens of douchebags.
You're such a bitch!
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 biggest jerks in video games.
Never took you for a poet.
Oh, but I am one. Want to hear a limerick?
Sure.
Lambert, what a prick.
Not bad.
For this list, we've chosen video game characters with irredeemable qualities that often make life hard for the player or protagonist. These are not to be confused with psychopaths, since we already have a list for them. Sorry, Trevor Phillips, please chill.
Who the f*** are you speaking to?
Our choices are based on a mixture of fan votes, popularity, and our own personal preferences. Also, be on the lookout for a few spoilers dotted here and there.
I might be sad, but I run your world, moron, and don't you forget it!
Number 10, Mido, The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. This masterpiece of a game promises a grand adventure from the get-go. Unforgettable characters, amazing levels, and the hero's ultimate journey. Or at least it would be if you can actually see the Deku Tree to start your quest, but no, this little bastard is blocking the way. Say hello to Mido, a resident of the Kokiri Forest, who seems to have some sway and influence over the other residents and has a particular disliking for Link. Not letting you start your quest until you find a sword and shield, he even has the gall to blame the player for not saving the great Deku Tree. Joke's on you, Mido, you're gonna be a kid forever. Number 9, Bluebeard, The Wolf Among Us.
Hello, Ichabod. Sheriff.
Bluebeard.
I was just chatting with our new friend.
Straight out of gothic horror comes the man whose beard may be lacking any shade of blue, but he makes up for it with a violent nature and deceptive mind. Throughout Sheriff Bigby's ongoing case to discover the culprit behind several murders, Bluebeard is shown to be an aggressive individual who will trample on anyone on the way to secure power for himself.
I'm going to his apartment.
What? You can't just go up there.
And why the hell not?
Should the player choose to kill the crooked man at the end of episode 5, he'll defend Bigby's actions, but will question his and Snow White's ability to run and protect Fabletown. Clearly, he's just as much of a wolf in sheep's clothing as Bigby himself.
Just tell me what I want to know. It will make things a lot less painful for you, in theory.
Number 8, Emily, Until Dawn.
He's just trying to understand. Understand the palm of my hand, bitch.
We are very much aware that Emily is meant to encompass the bitchy stereotype you'd often find in a lot of horror movies, but she just does it so well that you can't help but hate her, at least towards the beginning of the game. She's damn sure of herself, and as far as she's concerned, it's her way or the highway, something she is keen to remind the rest of the cast and the player on a constant basis.
Rule number 1, Emily is always right. Rule number 2, nothing else matters because Emily is always right.
Whether it's trading coy insults or screaming her head off like a banshee, we're sure there weren't many people shedding a tear when she met one of her many, many deaths.
I'm really sorry.
Holy shit, Mike!
Number 7, Lambert, The Witcher 3, Wild Hunt.
Before we go inside,
Ugh, drink a dose of cat, I know. Any more words of wisdom?
Being a Witcher isn't easy, and we can sympathize with living in the shadow of awesomeness that is Geralt of Rivia, but you don't have to be a dick about it.
In fact, whole world should hear about the time the famed Geralt of Rivia was duped like a child.
While he may have trained Ciri in the art of combat, Lambert doesn't have many impressive deeds to his name, left to hunt rather unimpressive monsters, as opposed to Geralt's gallery of legendary kills.
Vesemir told me about that job you did for those Nilfgaardians in Velen. What? What are you doing? Killing monsters.
Credit where credit is due. He did come to the aid of Kaer Morhen when the enemy was at the gate, but anyone who goes around insulting the gorgeous Triss Merigold is definitely a special kind of jerk.
Out of my way, dimwits, or I'll grind you to gravel. Understand?
Number 6, Damon S. Baird, Gears of War series.
So, any idea where we are now?
In the shit. Up to here.
War is hell, and when you're up against monstrous enemies like the Locust and the Lambent, there is little time for political correctness. That being said, Baird is definitely the resident asshole in Delta Squad.
Yeah, you still got it. Now let's go sweet talk the Queen of the Bums.
While his mechanical know-how and skills as a soldier are invaluable, his bluntness, sarcasm, and inability to shut his mouth have riled up a lot of people. Calling orphan children parasites and giving Sam grief are just a couple of those examples. At least he stays true to himself, even if that means being a prick in what could be his last moments.
I suppose you want me to say I've always loved you. But I don't. I really, really don't.
Number 5, Gary Smith, Bully.
Hey man, what's your problem? Well, ADD primarily, but also life, my parents, this school, Western civilization, but really, honestly, enough about me.
High school can be a nightmare if you don't fit in with a particular clique. Something that Jimmy Hopkins finds out the hard way when his new school turns out to be a war zone for jocks, nerds, greasers, etc. Orchestrating the social crisis from behind the scenes is the sociopathic Gary Smith, a self-proclaimed genius who betrays Jimmy in pursuit of power, aka showing everyone how smart he is.
I won! I tricked everyone! Starting with you, the head, the loser kids in town, and the prefects. Me! I won!
Setting events in motion that have the cliques targeting Jimmy and battling each other, he becomes the object of every player's aggression. There is nothing more cathartic than beating the crap out of this twerp and seeing him get his just desserts.
Sorry, didn't see you there.
Number 4, Blue, aka Gary, Pokemon Red and Blue. This character was just born to piss you off. Just as you pick your first ever Pokemon, your rival comes along and snatches whichever type Pokemon your choice is weak towards. As you go about your journey to become the best, he'll run into you at random intervals, always yelling out, "Smell you later," like he's actually better than you. Ah well, it's not like he's gonna dash ahead of you, defeat the Pokemon League, and become the champion just before you do and rob you of all your hard work. Oh wait, he does that. But the revenge that follows is ever so sweet. Smell this, you jerk. Number 3, Falco Lombardi, Star Fox series.
Think that did it? Hey, Froggy!
Don't call me Froggy!
As a member of Star Fox and second in command to Fox McCloud himself, Falco is shown to be highly skilled when it comes to air combat, but has a really hard time accepting when he gets into a jam, and an even harder time actually saying thank you.
I guess I should be thankful.
Known to occasionally butt heads with Fox and Slippy via sarcastic comments, he's cocky and has an automatic dislike for authority. In fact, for a while, he left the team just because he was bored. While he has at least mellowed out over the series' run, he's still one stubborn bird.
Fox, you're supposed to shoot them all.
Number 3, the dog, Duck Hunt. Behold the face of retro gaming hatred reincarnated as one smug canine that has been infamous across the years. In this classic NES light gun shooter, players had the simple but enthralling task of shooting down an increasing number of ducks with each level they completed. Failure to do so didn't give you a game over. No, that mangy mutt would appear on screen and laugh at how pathetic your shooting skills were. After a dozen failures, you can see why the constant mockery would tempt gamers to try their marksmanship skills on the dog instead of the ducks. Before we reveal our number 1 pick, here are a few honorable mentions.
Nobody lectures me. Everyone tries though. They try.
Number 1, Handsome Jack, Borderlands series.
Oh, good. You work for me. I thought I was gonna have to get violent there for a second. Or more violent.
How vain can a man who includes handsome in his own name be? Dangerously so.
Yeah, I know. I'm your hero. You're my biggest fan. Blah, blah, blah. Welcome to the club. Just trying to sweat yourself.
Stealing the credit for finding the vault as well as killing the destroyer, Jack is a self-made dictator with the backing of the Hyperion Corporation and basically all of Pandora as his personal playground.
I understand! I understand everything!
Believing himself to be the hero of the story despite all the pain and despicable actions he commits. This denial comes with constant taunts, admittedly hilarious dialogue, and an absolute understanding of mutual hatred between Jack and the player. He's the king of the jerks who we just love to hate.
Hey, give me a cupcake. Just let me try to rip your throat out one more time. Just one more time. Come here.
What? No!
Do you agree with our list?
What do you think?
Who do you think is the biggest jerk in video games?
I vote we sneak around and avoid getting shot in the ass for a change.
With new top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
Oh my god, I was such a bitch, and I maybe could have helped him. Maybe I could have saved him.